just kind of been sitting here looking at Twitter, like, I don't know if I want to post that I'm going live or something. You know, I just, nah. Why is the sun so low on the wrong side of the building? I'm not sure what you're referring to, but... welcome, Kraos. Hello, Turley. How's it going? What's cracking? What's popping? Time for some monster hunting. Hopefully my boys are kept from your chill rampage. Yeah, basically today we're just, sorry. Basically today we're just gonna be hunting whatever's on the optional quests, I guess. But I've found myself getting like 1 or 2 shot by things in G rank, and I think that has to do with my armor not being upgraded, so I think we're gonna like try and do that today, probably. It's very, very early. I apologize, Kraos, that it is so early. And also that I'm not really sure if you needed to, you know... Anyways. No, it doesn't have to do with Twitter being rough, Rants. I'm just like tired, and I'm like I don't really know if I want to like I don't know if I want to deal with needing to do extra things right now, and I just want to play Monster Hunter. All right. Hello. Had to, I adjusted the mouth again a little bit because I found that the tongue and the teeth on the inside of the mouth were a little small. So, I've increased the size. Hopefully it matches better now. Okay. So, as I was saying, so it took us like a bajillion hours to kill the, Espinus. The poisonous the poisonous Espanol. That one. So, I feel like I wanted to upgrade my armor. I also probably need to upgrade my, like, dereliction set. I'm not really sure what else I want to do outside of that. It's just kind of like... I feel like I want to do that, and... I suppose my gear doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But also I can't get the last Malzeno upgrade. So I don't know if I want to make a... like a... what's it called? Where is it? Make the thing here. Where is it? Geismagorn? Oh, that means I need to fight one. I don't know if I want to do that. That sounds not super fun. But the problem is that we can't... there's like this stuff. The like increased attack stuff. With like afflicted things. And we haven't done any of this yet. So I'm kind of wondering if I need to... I don't want to say need to do this, but should be doing this. Because I need afflicted stuff. So we might do some afflicted hunting or stuff. You're gonna get your verification badge. So, you know what's really interesting about that, Rance, is that, like, first of all, open-ended question, like, how's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well, etc. Please feel free to update what you would like to speak about into the void, and hope that the streamer person notices. But yeah, the interesting thing about that, which, you know, it's kind of like, alright, Twitter, pay to win, whatever, pay $8 for a check mark, I'm assuming get more impressions. The thing about that, right, is that there's been observations about how, like, the social, what's it called? Like, the social understanding or something of, being verified will go down because it'll mean less, from a social standpoint. Like, people will be like, oh, well, you can just, like, pay to be verified, so, like, you know, that's, like, a... That reduces the validity of what it means to be verified. Interestingly, there was heavy implications on verification having to do with, like, impressions and stuff like that, or, like, how many people see your stuff. So, like, what it looks like to me, as someone who, you know, I was gonna say as a content creator, but you know, I don't know how much I identify with that label. But, like, to me, all I see is you can pay $8 to effectively get more advertising on Twitter. That's what it looks like to me. Like, I don't know. That seems completely fine. If you want to pay to win your way through Twitter, like, the reality is that, right, you could pay $8 in advertising, and advertising is a pay-to-win strategy. Like, literally. Like, the ability to slowly hack your brain over the course of, like, multiple ads of them showing you pizza until you feel like you want to order pizza is, like, literally a pay-to-win strategy. So... I don't know. It just... Yeah. I understand that there are other reasons for verification or whatever, like social clout. Or, like, what is the reason of it? Or, like, you might even get people who are very reverse psychology on it, where they're like, oh, well, if you are verified and I see your content, then, like, I simply won't react to it. But I think that the outspoken or vocal minority on things are often not an accurate representation of the amount of people who buy pizza due to being shown a pizza ad. Like, you can be defiant all you want and say, like, oh, I'm not gonna order pizza because I got shown a pizza ad. It's like, oh, yeah, you know, there's probably, like, at least a 10% conversion rate on the amount of people who saw pizza then bought pizza. Or whatever. Like, it's all percentages. And large sample sizes. Anyways. You know, honestly, I have no strong opinion, just wanted to hear your thoughts. Yeah, you know, I think it's not great. How do I say this? So basically, if there is a design problem, let's say there is a design problem, and you look at the design problem, and then you kind of go like, well, part of what we want, or part of the previous design, is there's this, like, social clout thing that's really important. And then you look at the suggested solution and go like, well, this seems to undermine that a lot. I don't think it's the best idea to take a pre-existing structure or something that is, like, very successful about a thing and then kind of remove that. So, like, certainly there are reasonable concerns about, like, the social clout of having a verification being pretty important and then, like, not being a thing anymore. So, or, like, being less of a thing. So, you know, I don't know. Anyways, I think we're gonna do some anomaly quests, I guess? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I still don't understand what the heck, like, anomaly quests mean, or what the point of them is. Outside of getting, like, materials, I don't understand the rest of the overarching structure for these quests. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So, let's see. We're gonna do optional subquests. So, flash bombs. I don't know if I want to do that. 3 flooded forest quests. Sever a tail. I don't actually know if I can do that. I'm a sword and board user. Large monsters. Riding wyverns. Sure. Hello, Lynn. Welcome. Did you see the the actual mommy picture that I drew. I thought it was pretty good. I think I did a pretty good job on it. Try this. Actually, wait. I need to do this in the flooded forest? This is the jungle. Is that the same place? No, I think that's a different place. Which I think actually means I don't do this one. Yeah, we'll do this. Yes, you are my mommy. Oh boy. That's interesting. I always wonder how many, like, how many people I lose, like how many viewers I lose whenever I just, like, don't seem to 100% reciprocate. Stuff like that. Where's my... Oh, there it is. Okay. Should start farming catalysts and stuff. Still waiting on child support, but classic deadbeat mom never pays. Yeah, I'm too busy playing video games. Deadbeat mom playing video games. Alright, let's fight some monsters. I have not had any coffee yet. Should probably have some. Did not eat. It's a meal. Alright. Yeah, see, I feel like I'd be more invested in getting stuff done in Monster Hunter if, like, I did more damage. Which I can't tell if it's a problem with, like, me just being very bad at the game, or, yeah, either me being bad at the game, or that this is just sort of the pace at which people clear monsters out now. So for me, it's been about, like, 20 or so minutes, I think, on good hunts. But man, fighting the Espanol dragon is pretty tough, actually. Is the audio loud? It looks a little loud on my end, but let me know. Have you seen Mike? A mobile game that's got some good waifus? Yeah, I did talk about it. I already talked about it a little bit. And how I'm probably not going to play it because I don't want to have to play another gacha game. I'm not actually interested in playing a new gacha game. I do find it really funny, though, how, like, you know, people think about, like, alright, how are we gonna make the newest, innovative, like, gacha game that's, like, super new and innovative, and, like, it's gonna be the next thing, and we're gonna have, like, the coolest mechanics, and whatever, and it's like, alright, guys, I hear you. I hear you want to make, like, this cool new game that's very cool and new. Have you heard of this thing called jiggle physics? Have you thought about it? It's pretty cool. Oh. So, like, alright. Alright, so you're saying that one of the the key design goals is to have good jiggle physics. How do we make sure that we include the maximum amount of jiggle physics everywhere possible? And the answer is, okay, so when they get out of cover, there's going to be jiggle physics. Outstanding. Ship it. Like, I like the way you think. Big explosion. Yeah, I was actually thinking about slightly on the tangential mode. Oop, I just realized I'm on the wrong skill. That's interesting. On a slightly different note, I was thinking about if I wanted to do membership streams, provided that monetization actually goes through, because like there is like a very real possibility that they just kind of like decline my application and kind of like they're just like, nah, I'm not good. You know, your content is like not, so we're just gonna like not. But you know that might happen. And then I was like, man, I kind of feel like at the very start, like you probably don't have enough members to like have a membership stream. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if. And I was trying to think of like what we would do, and I had like a couple of really cool ideas, but then it's sort of like, well, is that something that I should maybe just like do in general, like as a general stream? Like it seems like a really good idea. Like I think it'd be really funny to, or like I think it'd be a pretty cool project to like try making a game with chat, but like it'd be like very, very low scope. So but you know, I figured like, oh well, maybe if it's only people who are members, then like then I don't have to worry about there being too many people like cluttering the chat or whatever. But then at the same time, it's sort of like, it just seems like a good idea. Why would I make that a membership stream? But yeah, that's innovation. Take a good idea and make it more prominent, just like Ivy from Soul Calibur getting even bigger booba. Maybe. Jiggle physics are absolute, but we need the thinnest veneer of why you have the angle to appreciate them. Yeah, basically. Position the player behind the battle line of the waifus. We can even change the gameplay feel and perspective of this. Yeah, I mean, like, I did say it kind of as a meme, but like, to be completely honest, like, yeah, it's kind of not that complicated, right? When you ask yourself a problem, right, you kind of go like, alright, well, like, if the goal is to showcase that our game has jiggle physics, how are we gonna do that? And then you have to think of ideas. And then you go like, alright, but hear me out. When they come out of cover, then, oh. Though I think sometimes the idea sometimes the idea happens at the same time, which is fair. So rather than going like, okay, our game has jiggle physics, how do we showcase that? It's more like, I want to make a game that showcases jiggle physics by having them happen whenever they come out of cover. So rail shooter with gacha elements is kind of fun. Yeah, and I think in a weird way, like, you know, I don't know how successful the game will be. Obviously, it is the talk of the town right now, so people will have confidence in it. But I think over, like, a longer period of time, you know, you kind of ask, like, well, is there value in the rest of it? And similar to Arknights, like Arknights is a tower defense game, and it's like, yeah, why didn't anyone else make a tower defense game before this? You know what I mean? Like, or like one that was notable. So you kind of combine a bunch of things and then also go, hey, by the way, tower defense. So I think people who want a certain game genre may look for games that are a particular way, I guess. And then the fact that it's gacha doesn't, like, really matter. It's that it's gacha, and then also, like, there's pretty decent mechanics of the game genre that people actually want. I feel like I want to, like, launch the monster into the summon camp just so that I can get the monster writing thing done. Yeah, so I feel like, you know, there are likely other reasons why FGO is popular, but I think as well it's just kind of like, or what I've heard is that it's like a turn-based game. Is that my correct understanding of what FGO actually is? Because I'm not sure. Like, people compared Genshin to Breath of the Wild, right? And then you kind of go like, yeah, I guess if you made a half-decent, like, exploration game. And people will like it. You know? Like, I don't know if it's a problem or a good thing that... Like, I think the reality of gacha games is that there's, like, something that's good about them outside of the gacha aspect. Right? Gacha also has some positives, like wanting to get characters, and there's, like, good character writing. Well, I guess what I'm suggesting is that, like, I think a lot of good gacha games could exist without the gacha aspect. And they would... Or, like, I think what would make a successful gacha game is you need to really picture it as if, like, if there was no gacha in this game, would it still work? They are good in spite of gacha, not because of it. Exactly, Snow. Like, that's the thing. I love Arknights. Like, it is a fun game to play when there is content. Like, because it's just a tower defense game. Except there's, like, 700 different towers to choose from. Like, you know? Like, I was a mad Plants vs. Zombie player when I was younger. You know? So, like, you could see it in a negative light and be like, unfortunately, I could be enjoying this game without also destroying my wallet at the same time. Or you could see it as a good thing, because it means you get to make a good game, but also make a lot of money off of it because gacha. So I'm not really sure what to say about that. Like, you could probably make Monster Hunter as a gacha game, if it was more modern. Like, you could find a way. I'm not saying that you should, but following the logic that we are currently using, if the game is by itself very good, you simply need to translate certain other systems into gacha, and then it should work. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to comment on it from that lens, but certainly. For me, I think it... Yeah, I don't know how much I want to comment. Because I feel like people have very strong opinions on this, and I don't. But generally, I think it is possible to go into more granularity than any possible labelable thing. I think money is just a problem in general. For a lot of reasons. I don't know if that's like a super crazy huge opinion or something. But it's kind of one of those, like... I feel like this should be taken with a grain of salt, because I really don't like it when opinions get lumped into, like, assumptions. Which I feel like people would do anyways, but, you know. Similar to how we were speaking yesterday, right? Like, there are advantages to having monetary systems. At the same time, there are disadvantages. And lo and behold, one of the disadvantages, in my opinion, is that you could have a game that is very, very good, that could be accessible to people for completely free. Or not even completely free, but like not within the framework of gacha. That are not like that, because game developers heavily optimized to making you want things. I feel like what we should do one day, I should do this, because we did a level breakdown of the Ashtray Maze and Control, and I really feel like I want to, like, do a UI breakdown of, like, of Archetypes or something, and be like, hey, by the way, just so you're aware. Just so you're aware. Yeah, that's pretty close, Snow, but it's not exactly. I don't think that gacha games cut corners in a very interesting sense. Like, and this is the thing, is like, I feel like it's important to acknowledge that the people who make gacha games are actually heavily optimizing. They are optimizing so hard, like it is insane. If you think of, like, how much psychology goes into, like, how a UI is designed, like you're screwed. You know what I mean? Like, people can't be expected to be cognizant of how much, like, a gacha game UI is hacking your brain. You know what I mean? But, like, a gacha game dev absolutely knows how it is hacking your brain. I think another good example of this is, like, I thought... So, okay, hear me out. I thought this was the most blatant, like, ridiculous showcase of why, like, of, like, the general framework of, like, a gacha game artificial problem. But then, like, I don't think other people made the same observation, right? So in Genshin, they introduced a mechanic called corruption. And how corruption works is that you get afflicted with a dot, right? So you get afflicted by a dot that, like, hurts your current active character, right? Now, the thing is, the dot's pretty powerful, and also they showcased it in, like, the Abyss at that time. So kind of the endgame content where you need to have, like, the best stuff, otherwise you die. You know, best stuff, debatable, but at the same time, the character that got released was Kokomi, who is a 5-star off-field healer. Does no one find it a little weird that they released an extremely powerful off-field healer when they introduced the DOT effect that kills your on-field character? Wow, that's, like, super weird. That's crazy, honestly. You know, that's weird that they would, like, design a game mechanic and then, you know, there happens to be a solution in the gacha. That's super weird. Now, mind you, I don't actually know how well Kokomi sales were, because I think there was, like, some other backlash behind it. But the design philosophy still stands, right? Where you kind of go like, oh, wow. Very cool. You know what I mean? Okay. So let me catch up with chat. You have possibility, that's for sure, but if you make a good product, you can get awarded big like Fall Guys. I'm assuming this is for indie development, right? Conflicts with the incentive of making high quality content. Yeah, I'm not sure the general line of thought there. Or like I wasn't paying attention at the time, so I don't remember. Hold on a second. Okay. Indie dev, small budget, great idea, got huge boost for a one-off idea. Oh, this is for Fall Guys? Sure. I mean, sort of... I always get a little bit hesitant when talking about indie development because I really feel like there's... Like, I just don't think indie development is necessarily the best, like, monetary strategy. Just because, like... And you go like, well, you should make it because of the art. Meanwhile, every single starting artist. Right? Indie games are precisely the example of how corporations tend to focus more on profit than having an artistic vision. Indie games don't often go for the sole purpose of being predatorily profitable. Yeah, and I think that it is difficult to make money off of a game. And that's sort of where, like, my heart goes out to all the indie devs who have literally no exposure. They have likely spent a lot of time making products, and they have made, like, very, very little. Like, not even like 1% of their upfront cost, probably. Like, I'm not even certain they've made back their, like, their licensing fee to, like, post to Steam. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think it's important to understand that, like, when you have to spend, like, 3 years plus on a project, that, like, you probably don't want to have, like, 100k sunk cost, basically, for keeping a roof over your head. So it's unfortunate, because games are this, like, huge collaborative project that requires an insane amount of effort to put together. And then it's like, okay, but give it to us for free, though. It's just unfortunate. Just saying there's a net positive for making a good game. Effort has possibility of working out. So, yeah, there's like a couple things to this, right? Like, first of all, it sounds like there's an assumption that, like, AAA games or whatever, for example, like, don't have effort put into them. Right? Or because we can see that they're clearly appealing to, like, a target audience. Or that it has gacha monetary systems in it, that there's like this perceived idea that there's a lack of effort put into them. Where, like, I think it's fine to say that they put a lot of effort into it, and it's just not, like, good or not what you like. You know, like, I'm not, like, I don't care about Modern Warfare 2 being re-released. Like, I don't, like, I don't care about that happening. But it's like, I think games have effort put into them. And, like, there's a lot more to success than just putting effort into things. I maybe don't understand as much the first part of your point with the, like, net positives of making a good game and stuff. Because, like, I think it's similar to you know, YouTube videos or, like, creating content. Is that, like... Except that, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and make a bold statement here and say that sinking 3 years of your life into something, like, to make a YouTube video that people might not even find is, like, maybe not the best idea. And also, you're probably gonna spend 8 or more hours a day coding things and making art assets. So I just, you know... It's like, yeah, put all your effort into it, and then get shit on 3 years down the line. By the way, hello, Jitsu. We'd have so many awesome games that never came to life today because people need to make ends meet. Yeah, exactly. It's like, the developer needs to, like, keep a roof over their head, you know what I mean? It's not... It's not like their house just, like, randomly comes out of nowhere. It's like, well... If you want to make art, then get a job at the same time. And then it's like, bro, but if, like, game development is the job, then, like, what is... And how do you keep a roof over your head? Like... You don't get any money for the project until it's done. Or you don't get money to support the project until you deliver a milestone. Like, like, how the hell are you supposed to keep a roof over your head if there's no expectation that you're gonna make money at the end of it? Right? So we kind of see the problem of why people would put so much goddamn time into optimizing how you make money off of a game. Because there's, like, huge risk factors. Yeah, it's riskier than just, like, you know, making a half-decent game and then slapping gacha onto it. Like, that's so much easier. What incentive is there for people to make the game good? Outside of, like, making money off of it. Are there so many more reasons I wish people could live even if they aren't getting profits out of what they spent on? I think that would be the artist's dream. That is correct. I think it would... I think most artists would say it'd be really nice if they could just practice their craft and not need to be concerned that they're literally going to die due to starvation. So yeah, I mean, like, you know, that's an interesting topic to have gotten onto today. So it, you know, it's sad, I think. So one of these days I'll make a... We'll do a stream where we break down the UI in Arknights. So that we can be like... Look at how funny this meme is. Man, I'm getting my ass kicked. You know, that's fair, since I'm being distracted, but also, like, sure, I'm getting my ass kicked. good to be aware of the design philosophy. I imagine design's psychology, not philosophy. I think we know what the design philosophy is. And, like, to be completely honest with you, I don't even think Arknight's UI is, like, that bad. Like, they're relatively unintrusive, I think. But, like, man, I've seen some, like, really bad ones. So, okay, this is really funny. So, I was watching someone play like a gacha game. Like, not a gacha game, but like a mobile game, right? Now get this. So, in the top right, which first of all, if you don't know, the top right of a UI is the most frequent place someone is going to look at any given point in time. The top right is where the buy premium currency was, right? Now, when you click into that, obviously it, you know, gives you the menu where you would buy premium currency. No commentary at all on, like, the actual premium currency page itself. When you exit, so get this, when you exit the premium currency menu, it shows you, like a mini screen ad, kind of. Like, not an ad, but like an in-game, like, hey, but, like, do you want to, like, watch an ad? Because, like, if you watch an ad, we can give you, like, some premium currency. So it's like, what do you think is going through a player's mind after they go to the premium, like, buy premium currency tab, and they don't buy anything? Man, I really kind of wish I had some premium currency. So, like, how messed up is it that the UI designer is like, yeah, but, like, I can remind you that, hey, by the way, we could show you an ad if you want some premium currency. Oh, sorry that you left our storefront and didn't buy anything, but we can show you an ad. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's stuff like that where you don't think about it, but, like, you have to understand that there are people who, like, understand your psychology way better than you and are, like, literally trying to hack your brain. So, like, I saw that and I, like, literally, like, I laughed. I, like, actually XD'd in real life. It was so funny. So, yeah. I think in the same game as well, it frequently shows you, like pop-up ads. And again, they're not like pop-up ads. They're like pop-up ads of, like, hey, do you want to, like, hey, by the way, have you considered this product? We shouldn't take for granted games that aren't so shameless as that. Yeah, but the thing is, it's like, I understand that for, you know, I could maybe put, like, a category. Like, I think we can assume that anyone who's watching a VTuber stream, you know, I mean, maybe I don't want to say that, but, like, you know, generally people who watch streams are, like, technology power users. In a way. Like, there are people who are actively invested in technology, right? There are people who are not actively invested in technology, but download mobile games. So, like, those people may not be as cognizant of what is happening to them when they're in a UI menu and get shown an ad, like, 10 times during their play session, and they just, like, aren't really paying attention. But for some reason, after 7 days, they feel inclined to buy premium currency. For some reason. They're at a risk of losing players who figure that out. This is the thing, Rance. Players don't figure it out. That's the problem. Like, there are people who just simply are not cognizant of these things happening to them. You know what I mean? And depending on what you think the target audience is, you can be more or less depending on, like, what you think they'll react to. Like, there's an equilibrium, very likely. Like, you can use an economics curve and be like, what is the intrusiveness of ads that I can include? And, like, what is the amount of people who are gonna play this game? And there's, like, a min-maxed value that like an economics game designer can figure out based on your target audience. Like, yeah, I don't. So it's less about like losing players in the sense that like you lose all players. It's more like, what is the correct percentage of players that I can lose such that there are people who play the game and don't care? Yeah, so they find that audience, which is good, but still a risk. Well, this is what I'm saying, is that, like, it doesn't... They don't actually care if they're losing part of an audience. Because, like, the part of the audience that they lose is, like, just a calculated percentage of how many people are going to be playing the game at any given point in time. We shouldn't assume that the world is at a balance, where being unethical yields you a proportional financial risk. I'm going to be honest, I find it difficult to understand what is actually being said in that sentence. Remember, you just need a few whales to make your profit skyrocket. Exactly. And, like, this is part of the problem, where you kind of go, like, yeah, there's going to be a bunch of people who point to this and go, like, oh, this is, like, dumb. Like, this is dumb, right? Like, this is dumb? Then you go, like, yeah, but there's just some, like, 70-year-old playing the game, like, the crossword mobile game. Like, and they're just playing it and having a good time using their retirement funds to feed a pet animal that's on the screen. Because that 70-year-old has some degree of empathy for the random animal that was shoved in front of them during one patch randomly. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I don't know. Oh, so you were suggesting as long as, like, you find an audience that you can succeed. Yeah, so I guess the, like, added thing to that, just, like, for clarity, right? Like, the added thing to that is that, like, your target audience somewhat can be calculated for of how many people are gonna not be, are, like, not going to participate in your thing. Basically saying there's a market for people who care and are cognizant. I would say that it's a minority. That's, like, that doesn't have data supporting it, but, like, it's just kind of a gut feeling. That I do not think the layman goes out of their way to understand the psychological effects of UI, especially when they're just playing a video game. Like, I don't think a layman does that. think one of the most fascinating things that I've been shown is the, like, is sort of the, like, what's it called? I don't know what it is, like, specifically called, but, like, consumer willingness to spend money distribution curve, basically. Like, who here thinks that, like, pre-order, like, you know, super packages are dumb and a waste of money? Just out of curiosity, I'm kind of wondering. I understand that there may not be too many people here, but I know that at least definitely in my experience, my friends have been relatively critical of, like, pre-order packages. Alright, I appreciate you telling me that you think that they're not very cash money. So there's, like, a very interesting principle on this. Or, like, concept that I'm aware of, I suppose. Which we can go into maybe after the southern camp is done. Even if less money, call me a fool, but I like to believe. Oh, like, for a market that's cognizant? I mean, like... The thing is, I guess sort of what I'm thinking is that, like... The problem is that, like, the audience isn't chosen based on, like, whether they're cognizant about UI elements or not. That's more of, like, an understanding or, like, a principle to understand about particular individuals that you may want to keep in mind. So, like, if your target demographic was people in their 20s to 30s, then you may also make the assumption that you can't show them an ad after they leave the shop, after not buying anything, because it'd be like, what the hell, and then leave again. So there is a concept that I kind of want to explain with this, because I thought this was, like, fascinating. And, like, I don't know if people look at that and kind of, like, go, like, damn, that's messed up. But I sort of, you know, kind of want to talk about it because I think it's interesting. It works better with a graph, though. So, stick around if you want to watch players make graphs. I don't know how much people want to watch players talk about economics. Or if they're here just to watch me play Monster Hunter. Like, players, why aren't you playing Monster Hunter? Why is there a Photoshop file open? I don't understand. I came here to watch you fight wyverns. Graphs are fun. I think graphs are fun. I am not the strongest mathematician. However, I do understand when something is stonks. I love how G-Rank just makes me feel so goddamn incompetent. It's probably because I'm also streaming at the same time. Like, you know, it's easier to not die when you're not actively reading chat and stuff. It's almost dead, though. It's almost dead. unfortunate thing is that we're only here for like 2 hours. I can't go much longer than that. Don't worry, I also get less confident when I'm streaming for friends. Yeah, it's interesting, because, like, I feel like people's temptation to say or whatever, because, like, I kind of get it. But people's temptation is to say, like, oh, it's like a performance anxiety thing. However, I don't feel anxious. It's literally just, if you look at chat and have to, like, read it, that means you're actively not looking at the screen and splitting your attention. So as someone who primarily likes interacting with the chat, or actually talking to them, I sometimes find it difficult to not get absolutely destroyed by monsters and monsters. But to be fair, I made an assumption. I don't know if you... Anyways. Performance anxiety is not really you have it or not type of thing. It's more about how much of it you have. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. So, like, just for the record, like, I was originally, like, a classical piano major. So it's like, I personally consider, like, 15% affected by performance anxiety as negligible, and like virtually it means that I do not have it, right? Some people get slightly nervous, so you can ignore it, and to others it can be crippling. Yeah, that's fair, but the thing is, it's like, it's not about ignoring it, right? It's that, like, there's a certain percentage of this thing that is affecting me, and then, like, I'm not gonna allow it to affect me more than whatever. So, I don't know. The point is, I'm not nervous right now. I don't know if that makes sense, but I understand people have performance anxiety. Which my qualifier for if it is, like, actually affecting you or not is, you know, do you feel like it is affecting you? Oh my god, that took 44 minutes. Holy shit. Damn. That's crazy. Oh my god. I can't believe that took 44 minutes. Am I that bad at this game? Or, like, or is my gear shit? I have, like, Crit Die 5, Attack Boost 3, Dragon Attack, Crit Boost 3, Exploit, Wirebug Whisperer. So, like, I don't have Dereliction on this set, and I don't have the other thing. But, like, you know. I have Adrenaline Rush, which I guess is not active. So, like, I kind of wonder if it's just, like, my hunting, or actual hunting. You don't know how harsh rises? I feel like the G rank has been pretty, like, difficult. Or understandably hard. Alright, this is a Photoshop document. Has it been like this for Iceborne 2? No, for I think Iceborne was relatively, like, relatively playable, not that hard. I feel like Rise has been actively difficult. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not going to be an actual graph, but, like, you know, let's say, for example, right, in sort of, like, I'm trying to remember how the graph is actually set up. So it's like number of players, number of people, number of PPL, right? And then that, like, this is like how much money they're willing to spend. I think I actually have it flipped. This is like money, right? Thank you for the splash. Doesn't work on the screen. And there's like a number of people who are like willing to participate with the product. I think that's it. God, I wish I remembered this correctly. Maybe when I start drawing it out, it'll like work. But basically, there's kind of like in Arc Knights, right? There are like people who will like buy every single character, right? So there's like a small percentage of people, like a very small percentage, right? Who, oh, you can't see the one thing. Maybe I need to zoom out. Okay. So there's like a small percentage of people who will spend a lot of money on your game, right? I think the better example for this may actually be like a single player game, right? Because we were talking about like pre-release bundles and stuff. So like, let's say for example that the sweet spot for people to buy a video game is, or like the most recent AAA game is like $60 or whatever. I think it's like 80 now or something, but anyways. So there is like this percentage of people, of customers who will like buy the game at this value. So like this is $60. And then let's say above here is like the pre-release bundle is like $120. And then let's say like a video game sale is around here. So with the pre-release bundle, there are less people who are willing to buy that. So like the percentage of people kind of goes this way. So there might be like this few people. But like that's a lot of money. And like the people who were maybe willing to spend this much may also spend this much potentially. Potentially. So, the idea is to have both options available to people. Right? Or, if the game goes on sale, let's say for $20, like down here, then there's like more people who are willing to buy it at that much that represent this. Right? So, the thing is, if we don't include this, or we don't include this, then we're losing out on making money off of this. So, like, customers who are only willing to pay $20, right? I think the graph may actually be the other way around. Yeah, I'm getting confused, but the concept still stands. So, like, if you don't ever include a sale on your game, then you miss out on people who would buy your game if there was a sale. If you don't include a pre-release thing, then, like, players who may have considered spending up to $120 do not because they buy for $60, and there's no option to pay more money. Right? So, what this kind of looks like is, like, you can buy the Super Deluxe Premium Edition for $120, or you could buy the version that's only, like maybe it's, you know, there's some extra features. Or you can buy the game with the Battle Pass. Or you could buy the game when it first goes on sale in the first quarter. Or you can buy the game with, like, what's it? When, like, it goes on sale the other time. So, like, there's customers who would buy it at this threshold. At this threshold. At the 60 threshold. At the 40 threshold. At the 30 threshold. Right? And this is like, you could simply, instead of selling your game only for $60, you can also make money in all of these other areas of the graph. Yeah, so what gets even more messed up about this is that, yeah, I see we're going through a basic demand curve. Exactly. Welcome point. So the funny thing about this is that if you think about microtransactions, there are spaces between 80, 60, 40. Like, there are people who will spend $42. Like they'll buy the game on sale, but they really wanted like a different hairstyle for their hunter. Or there's someone who's going to buy it for 60, but they'll pay, like, they're willing to spend a little bit more money to buy, like, a lot of cosmetics for the hunter. So, in between all of these, like, regular bars, is there, like, half steps of the curve that can be filled in by microtransactions. Which is why microtransactions are so, like, profitable. Because there are people who are willing to spend, like, $2 to $10 more past what they initially spent to fill out the curve on the demand curve. So, yeah, I don't know. I was explaining this to my one friend who, like, really doesn't like pre-order bonuses. And then I was like, okay, but hear me out for a second. Let's empathize with the player who wants to spend $120 on Dead Space 3. And it's like, can you understand that someone would want to spend $120 on Dead Space 3? And then it's like, no, because obviously I would never spend that money on it. And it's like, well, unfortunately, I hate to break it to you, that player does exist. There's a very small percentage of them, maybe 1%. But they exist. Even if they're like 1% or less or something. Like, they do exist. And then it's like, how much more difficult is it to make, like, incentives for like, the $120 threshold when, you know, like, realistically, what are you actually making? Like, a special gun? So you have to make, like, one gun. You have to, like make all the thank you messages or whatever. You have to, like, produce the plastic or whatever. Like, oh no. Oh no, 1% of 20 million people paid $60 additional for the one 3D artist who had to, like, make an additional texture. Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. All of my production costs. Oh no. We paid them for like 1 day of work and then made 1% of 20 million people paying $60 additional. Oh my god. Like... So anyways, I thought this concept is interesting. I think particularly because, like, as much as people, like, criticize microtransactions and, like, you can say they're pretty messed up, which is acceptable, the function of what a microtransaction is trying to do is fill out somewhere on this curve where people would spend slightly more money. Yeah. So kind of in a similar vein with, like, gacha games. You could be like, people who spend a lot of money... By the way, how are you doing, Poi? I don't know, before I, like, went too far off on a tangent. I realized I scheduled 4 Arknight streams, which you're probably not super interested in. So, I was like, I should really say hi to Poi if he ever pops into the stream. But yeah, I think the curve for a gacha game is probably more similar to, like the person who's willing to spend, like, way, way, way too much. Like, less than 1% of players. And then there's people in the, like, hee I'm free to play. Free to play over here, where they spend almost no money, and there's a large percentage of the population who is that. And then there's, like, the people in the middle who kind of get memed on because, like, they really want to pull for Saleach because it's a flag bearer girl, and, like, they feel very strongly about that, and, like, those people are kind of over here. And then, like, I would say that this chunk is pretty empty. I would assume this chunk is pretty empty. But also, these people may be converted to this the longer they play the game. Like, you're just trying to get an engagement. And the way you get someone from here, by the way, to, like... Yeah, I mean, there's, like, certainly a lot of different ways to do it. But, like, it could be as simple as releasing a gacha character who, like, slightly resonates with that customer. So, you know. Do you believe people like that exist? It's just kind of hard to wrap my mind around people with that mindset. It's just they want to pay more money. That's it. There's literally just people who want to, like, do that. I never condemn people for employing or engaging in predatory tactics. I condemn the system that incentivizes them in the first place. Yeah, that's a way of looking at it. I think it's a little bit of column A and column B. Like I said, a lot of these concepts are not, like, mutually exclusive. Right? Like, I think it is fair to criticize people who, like, use tactics like putting you into a menu after you exit the shop. That's, like, to me, that's kind of messed up. But also, I think it is fair to criticize it at a system level that technically they are incentivized to treat you as a percentage that can be optimized on a supply-demand curve. So, like, just so you're aware. Which, by the way, this number can increase simply based on having a pre-release sale. So not even like a different tier of spending money. Literally, if you release a game twice, like if you release something with a pre-release and go like, hey, pre-order a game, you expect the same spikes in sales. What's it? It's like people will buy the game, then it'll go dormant. So this is the pre-release. And then somewhere along here, the game actually gets released. And you can literally just get people to, like, there are people who wouldn't buy here, who are more inclined to buy here. And then over here, there's just, like, it's basically advertising, I guess. If you advertise at 2 different times, you can expect a double spike in selling your game. If it is a single-player story-based game. This is not as common for concurrent service live service games. When it comes to gacha games, it's more difficult to simplify to a linear curve, often are because of how much whales end up spending. Yes, exactly. That's why I was saying, like, this is likely very empty. Like, this part of the curve is likely pretty empty. There are some people who are kind of like me, where, like, you spend some gacha funds sometimes, if there is something that you like. And then there's this, like, floating percentage of people who are free to play who might become this category if you release a product that they are interested in. Like, if someone has spent, like, a bajillion hours in Arknights and then you release a character they're interested in, they might spend money to pull for it. And then whales are over here, which some people in the industry don't appreciate that term, and I totally understand. But that is, you know, anyways. Still think they're of value, though. Doesn't solve anything, but good for the soul. Always respect passion projects. Yeah, I don't know. The only real thing about, like, the supply-demand curve, which, by the way, there is another part of this curve which is supposed to go like this. But, like, we don't generally consider supply because it's a digital product. Like, this part of the curve is not necessary, because you have infinite of it, effectively. Yeah. I don't know. I just think this stuff is interesting. So I wanted to comment on it. I think we can do one more thing. We can do like one more hunt if we really focus. Oh wait, why did my thing disconnect? Okay, we're good. I was really confused for a second. Why preserve your soul when you can sell it for more profits? It is definitely just kind of sad for you. I mean, yeah. I'm glad you're doing well, by the way, Poi. Looking at the supply curve doesn't make sense if you're looking at the game in isolation like we were doing. Yes. That is correct. Well, because, like, you would kind of... Basically, right? If you needed to consider supply, you would put less... like, the bottom of the graph, I think, is supposed to be, what's it? Units sold. So if there was a limited amount of like special copies or editions of the game, the way to optimize it is you would put less units produced for the tier of people who are gonna buy less of it, and then you like try to match the curve or whatever, right? Like I said, there's no physical units to the game, so you just have infinite of everything that you're producing. Right? I don't know if I want to start up a new quest because I feel like I'm gonna... I feel like I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Stupid anomaly quests. Maybe we do a one-star. We fight a Kuliaku. Oh, but we need the flooded place. None of these are in the flooded area. So maybe we do one of these. So yeah, that's that's your not an economics major tries to talk about economics in the most simplified way possible. We're good like this, where the competitors are other games. You just use a supply curve for a greater share of the market, and that'll determine prices. Interesting. I didn't know that. So, competitors are other games. For a greater share in the market. I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually understand that, but I might ask a colleague about it. I wonder if they would actually answer my question or not. They might not. So is it the like area underneath the top axis or the right axis? Where do you put what thing? I don't grasp very well. You mean that this makes more sense in context of using all the market as an average? I.e. you look at the money to be made in the gacha game market with the supply or amount. Oh, I see. So supply is more like total possible customers. And that the graph is shared with competitors. I feel like I'm gonna need time to think about that, but it sort of makes sense in my head. The supply curve is for all gacha games. Yes. Because then you actually have to consider, like, the supply curve. I suppose. Oops. Oh. Which, by the way, I think, like, if you want to say that part of the perspective is being, like, relatively negative in nature, like, there's a negative and positive framing, I think, that's important, which is, like, if you say it negatively, you could say that there's, like, people who... It's like, they're treating you like a percentage, and that, like, you know... Since there's a percentage of people who would spend a certain amount of money, we need to, like, make something so that they buy that. At the same time, you could see it as, well, there are people who are passionate about the game and want to spend more money. So, like, let's make them a product that is worth that. Which is, like, personally how I look at it. Like, if, like, and this is... I don't know how related or tangential this is to... like, getting membership streams and stuff, because, you know, I was kind of thinking there's probably going to be very few amount of people, so I don't know what I should do about that. But what I was thinking was that, like, there's a small percentage of people who are willing to membership after we actually, like, have that happen. How do I make that product actually worth it for them? Right? Like, what do they actually get for that? Whereas people would say, well, just, you know, just make all of the product better. Which is also possible when I was exploring it. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. Wherein if there is more money to be made by making a new gacha game, it'll be made, increase in supply. At least in an ideal mode. I see. Yeah, obviously there are other problems and stuff. It's definitely a scary thought looking at people as percentages. Yeah, that's why you don't, like... I feel like for people, like, it feels dehumanizing, which is totally fair, because it's like, oh, well, I'm not a percentage, I'm a person. And it's like, yes, we understand that. However, the existence of a mathematical principle is not, like, it's just a way of looking at it. No one's actually claiming that, like, you are only a percentage on a graph, unless maybe they're, like, a sociopath. I don't know. Which, like, no hate to sociopathic people, but, like, at the same time, they're not gonna think about, like, they're only gonna think about it in the one way. Right? So what I'm saying is that... Or, like, the way that I like to think about it is that, like, it's not just a percentage of a graph that gets filled. It is a percentage of a customer who is, like, invested in your product. Right? And I personally think, at least, that's different from going, like, oh, it's just, like, some percentage of person. It's like, no, there's, like, someone who is willing to pay, like, $5 a month, for example, to membership. And I want to think about, like, what the product will actually look like for that person. Because if they're willing to spend that, then, like, what does the product have to be? Right? I know I'm in the high demand part of the curve, but just emotes would work for me. Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, I think framing is important for the question. Also, just emotes would work for you. Sorry, I did read that, but I was just I don't know, thinking about it. I wasn't sure how much I wanted to, like... Yeah, I don't know what to do, I guess, for as far as, like, member content goes. Because I feel like there's not going to be too many, and then, you know, I'm down to make member streams for, like, 2 people. If that makes sense. But I don't know. I don't know if that's, like, what the 2 members want. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, I wonder if they would just prefer it to be, like, a public stream, and then it's, like, not a big deal. You know what I mean? The important thing to understand about economics is that it's assumed that people only spend money on things that they find worth it. Yes. That's why there's, like, a percentage, or, like, when we're talking about percentage populations, it's like, there's people who think it's, like, really, really worth it to pull for the most recent 6-star coming out and whatever. Which is why they spend the money. But people aren't gonna, like, buy a bad product. That's why you need it to look somewhat slightly good. Or that's, like, where a lot of the optimization goes into. So you gotta make the customer think it is worth it. I don't want to, like, focus a little bit because of the time. The stream was one Summon Camp and then 1 Chameleos. Wow, amazing. Who thinks this product is worth it? Though it's pretty funny how often that assumption is just not correct in the slightest. Oh, what, like people spending money on things that are worth it? I'm curious, is that like from the perspective of like, that the product is like genuinely not worth it? Or that like, or like the value that you put on it as someone who is like, for example, not a gacha game player, is like, obviously this product is not worth it. I would find it really funny, I guess, to figure out when we cross the threshold of, like, the supply-demand curve just simply doesn't, like, work anymore. Like, the assumptions that have it be true are just, like, not. Just, like, aren't anymore. Oh. Oh, it's a Gormagala. I was like, what actually is? In general, look around and you'll see that many people are not rational consumers, as the assumption states. Yeah, so again, this is just what I know about it, which could be very different from someone who may potentially be actively studying economics. Or I don't know. I don't remember if I asked what you were studying right now for, or if that is even appropriate, which is fine. But basically, like, literally the definition, you are not an econ. Yeah. But my understanding of, like, rational consumer is not, like, it's not like a value judgment based on whether you think it is rational or not. It's that, like, the customer itself has some amount of internal logic that they are applying that is rational to them. So it's like, we can say that buying a rock on a golden band is pretty, like, silly to spend a lot of money on. Right? Like, I just think it's rather silly to like, pay some arbitrary rate for gold and then pay some other arbitrary rate to, like, put a rock onto it. But the thing is, like, there are people who just, like, in their own internal logic, think that that is extremely important for ceremonial reasons. Right? So, like, we can see their logic, even if we feel like it is irrational. Like, the definition of rational, I guess, is, like, or the point of it is that it's not a value judgment. It's just as long as the customer has some sense of understandable logic. The most frequent being, I want the thing. Also, I don't know how much people think it's funny that I'm shitting on wedding rings, but I don't... I don't actually feel that way, but I definitely think it's kind of funny. Buy a gold band with a rock on it. Heck W. XD. Oh god. I'm being crushed. Okay, just for the record, for every other economics major that is cringing at this entire discussion, I am also not an economics major. But I am required to semi-understand about it. Cool. So that I can speak to an economics major about what the correct thing is. Cornelius is just so goofy looking. This thing is just so ridiculous. If someone buys something and regrets it, then they didn't act rationally. Of course, that judgment is a bit harsh, but it happens a lot, so to assume rational purchase patterns is a little low. I mean, this is, like, again, why I think it's, like... I guess if you look at it over a long period of time, right, or, like, in a long enough period of time that they can regret it, right? But I'm pretty sure the assumption just assumes at the point of purchase if they had, like, a logical reason in their mind to do so. Right? Whatever the after effects, you know, after are their own. Right? Because, like, I think judging yourself, basically, by regretting something later is like a mental You know what I mean? Like, not everybody criticizes themselves for being irrational by regretting something later. Right? It's like they, you know, I can regret something, but I don't then, like, throw my past decision under the bus for being irrational. Like, I think it is fair to accept that at whatever point in time I thought it was appropriate to say, you know, my body is moving on its own as a funny meme. Even though I regret it now, I don't necessarily judge myself for making that joke in the past. You bought stuff and almost immediately regretted it? I've purchased irrationally before and it happens to many people. But yeah, so again, to be very clear, the rationality of spending money is not related to a personal value judgment. So if your values change after purchasing the thing such that it creates regret, that is like independent of making what is a quote-unquote rational decision at the point of purchase. I guess is what I'm suggesting. And, I don't know. The person who I was speaking to is very clear in trying to outline this fact. That, like, rationality is not related to your personal values, morals, or judgments, or regrets about your personal values, morals, judgments, etc. at some point in time. It's simply that there was a logic why someone bought something. That is considered rational. Or at least I'm pretty sure that's what I remember it being, at least. Again, I can, like, go ask them, and then, like, get back to all of you. If we wanted closure on this. But. So I was just thinking about the implications of, like, regretting something afterwards and then being like, man, yeah, that's terrible. And then it's like, it's like, it's like, yeah, I donated $100 to my favorite VTuber, and then I regretted it because he's actually an asshole and I hate him. Because he's trying to tell me what rational decisions are, and he's being a piece of garbage about it. Because, and I regret spending the $100 because he's being a piece of shit about it. And I'm like, you know what, that's fair. I agree. Okay. I can see what you mean, but if I recall, the assumption of rational purchases is that the person finds the value that they'll get from buying the product to be greater than the money spent. Yeah, so at the point of purchase, that is true. And then regretting it later is kind of a different story. Right? It's like they were rational about it at the point of purchase. And then if that VTuber ends up being a piece of shit that, you know, you don't want to support, it's okay, Poi. I get it. I understand, Poi, that I'm not worth it. That's, like, fair. I feel you. Thank you for all your generous donations, by the way. I do actually appreciate them a lot. I'm pretty sure 90% of them have gone towards buying artwork or video games. The booba is too small. I regret donating to this VTuber because their upper body strength is small. took issue with the wording, like, had a reason to buy it. Yeah, and again, like, that's why I was, like, really trying to outline that, you know, I think it's totally fair to criticize yourself or criticize someone else for, like, making what feels like an illogical purchase. And, like, I get that. I understand. I'm just suggesting that, like, the assumption is outside of that framework a little bit, even if it feels almost instantaneous. Right? Hello, Spike. How are our friends doing today? I think we're doing good. We spent a greater majority of the stream complaining about gacha. I suppose. And how UI is psychologically trying to hack your brain by showing you ads. What? I didn't scroll up to see what you said, Rance, but I'm assuming you said a funny hee. Ooh, I need to ride that. Wait. So this should have the optional thing on. How are you doing, Spike? Spike, do you have a token? Did I make one for you? Because we haven't made a token for you. So maybe, yeah. I don't remember if I made a token for you. God, I love coffee. Yeah, today I need to get something done, so I'll probably end stream exactly at the 2-hour mark. Which means we got 2 quests done. Wow, amazing. 22 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want to go check out the Monster Hunter Discord or something, because I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I don't know if it's because I'm just trash at the game, but like I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Things take so long to hunt. I feel like it is inappropriate to ask what the medicine is you're referring to, but I am curious. Is it like a bad thing that I should not be asking about? Because I can not ask about it, and that is okay with me. Maybe I have to scroll up. Okay, well, if you were here for gameplay and you're taking off, then have a good one. And I apologize that it was very short. But, you know, sometimes that just be how it do. It's a prescription, so it's not bad, it's just strong. Oh no, I was just, you know, anyways. Oh, I see. I don't know how I feel about that being a thing that is in my chat, but I suppose it's there. But yeah, we're playing Arknights for the, I think, remainder of the week. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we are reading stuff. It is reading stream time to read about the very long novella that is the Arknights story. Yeah, Rance, I was referring to the, previous thing. I think you can go back and remove messages, like, after the stream has been published, so I might do that. Just a very, I don't know. That's not that bad. I always worry about if, like, some weird thing someone says in chat is, like, used as a method of judging me as a person. Which I know isn't true, but it's unfortunate that some people do that sometimes. So. Alright, so this is not the Tavern of House Lyria. This is my terrible explanation at how economics works. This is the tavern. So we just finished our Monster Hunter stream, so we can stamp it off. Is there any person in the audience who wants a tiny drawing done for them? Because if you do, then I can make one for you. If you don't, then I suppose we won't. You were talking about your previous comment? Okay. Look at the tavern. Isn't it so nice? I like it. I think the only thing we're missing is we wanted some instruments on stage, and then there's supposed to be a fireplace over here in the top right. But aside from that, we've got basically everything in. I was thinking maybe making some small ornaments for the tables, like candles and stuff, and then I can put like an adjustment layer over the entire screen, and then like kind of like a shadow, basically. Maybe not an adjustment layer, but what this be called? I wanted to do something like maybe like this. I don't know if this is gonna work or not, so if it doesn't, then like forgive me, but it'd be kind of like this. And kind of turn it down. And then we could, like, have little... Like, if there was a thing here, right? Why isn't it working? It would be sort of like this. Is that all the tables would have a light source? Or I could like draw lights basically off from wherever the tables were. This would be a light source, light source. And then we can have a little bit more shadow. Oh. And more like this. That's like pretty aggressive, but... I'm not actually gonna put this like this, because it's a little janky, but... After there's candles and stuff, then we can make the... whatever. Stuff. Now the tavern's in Mexico? Oh no! Yeah, when people shoot it with like the very orange lighting is pretty typical for like that area. Need to make it dark and edgy. Yeah, I think this is like pretty similar to the effect that I want to do, but again, there's no like actual candles on anything, so all these light sources and stuff are wrong. So But yeah, we have like maybe 10 minutes. Oh. Oh. How do you entertain people for 10 minutes? We need Linkin Park or Evanescence. Wake me up. I don't think that's possible. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like that's a high ask. Oops. The wrong thing. I was like, do we want to keep listening to the Monster Hunter Rise background music, or do we want to change to my BGM? But I don't know. I feel like I enjoy listening to the video game BGM when we're just chilling. I am both excited and very not excited for the what's it called? For the thing and the stuff. The new streams. The Arknights. I don't know if this is gonna look weird or not, so we're gonna try it, and then if it looks bad, we're gonna undo it. Because the reading, so much reading. Yeah, it looks a little weird. Not do that. Wake me up inside. I can't get up. Lusting after thighs. I can't wake up. Wake me up inside. I wonder how much of Wake Me Up Inside you have to sing in order to get copyrighted. I want to say that it's probably not too much. I wonder if having this wall is enough to get me demonetized. What do you think? Is there a way to make this look more like a poster? Because I feel like it looks a little... I was gonna say it looks a little flat, but... That's, that wasn't supposed to be a joke. It just meant that it looks a little disjointed from the wall. Put some tape on the corners? That actually is a really good idea. What color should the tape be? Like clear tape? Hello, Issa. Welcome. We're almost done for today. So we're just chatting. At this point in time, we are just chatting. But how's it going? How's your day treating you? And hitting our bottom? Bruh. Up. Oh, bonking doesn't work on the screen, I forgot. Idiot. Thought you were actually going to be able to bonk me. Wow, that was a really good idea. Now it looks like more like a poster. Oh no, it's so pixelated. It's gonna look bad. Seems to be fun. We're just gonna assume that that's fine. Hitting you just so fast you can't see it. You're like an anime protagonist. You're too powerful. Average JPEG. Yeah, this one became a little bit blurry, and it was because of resolution stuff. I kind of wanted to sharpen the corners a little bit. Because it looks like a little too blurry, you know what I mean? Just have to redo it. It's still adorable, not gonna lie. I really like it. I also don't know if I'm gonna get banned because it has my feet on it. They're unrecognizable. Basically unrecognizable. Totally, we'll... It's my goal to eventually have a well-produced Dakimakura of myself, so that I can buy it and replace my current Dakimakura. Dakimakura. Is that better or worse? One of these days. One of these days. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. I just realized that this has nothing behind it. I wonder if we wanted to, like... Should be back here. Whoa. I think that was fine. Cool. That's full then now. That's all, folks. I don't think you're ever gonna get ASMR flares. I apologize, but it's just simply not happening. Never. Oh, I mean, I guess we could also call it. I was, you know, I meant that's all for the, like, for the little thing there, but yeah, I will have to go. Oh no, very sad. Streamer person has to go. Whatever will your lives be without me? So terrible, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. That's... You are A-okay with no ASM flour? Yeah, that's... I think people made that pretty clear on the Prey playthrough. Where I said, like, one thing relatively close to the mic, and then everybody started vomiting. One thing. Let's see, did my... I'm curious, did my watch hours, the pray through? Yes. That's what it was. I'm just curious to see if the watch time has been, well, I don't know. It has not. God damn it. We're still at 39:48, even though yesterday's stream was, I think, something like 40 hours of watch time, which is really impressive, by the way. But it also means that, depending on how many people watch this stream and the stream from yesterday, that I actually legitimately think we have hit 4,000 watch hours already. It just, like, hasn't been registered yet. I also have the thing checked where it's like, please email me when I'm applicable. And I'm just looking at it like, god damn it. Please update to 4,000. I'm so nervous. Last updated November 6th. Yeah, so it is not currently keeping track of yesterday's stream or today's. But we very likely already hit the thing for it. It's just we're not there yet. Anyways, sorry for the relatively short stream. I am getting a little bit sad because I feel like the challenges in Monster Hunter have become, like, genuinely very difficult, and I'm having a tough time, like, actually beating monsters. So, you know, fantastic. Can't wait to be able to spend money. I mean, literally, right? Because it's as we said, there are customers who want the thing. Actually, wait. Now that I think about it, did I ever show you guys the badges? Because I had these done on my debut, and I don't actually know if I still have them. But I still wanted them to be similar to... Yeah, they were literally just the... like, the house crest, but in bronze, silver, or gold. And I'm kind of cringing looking at the thing, and... Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide the thing for a second. Because it's cring. I'm cringing. Okay. I guess, okay. I have a question. This is going to split the entire community. Light mode or dark mode? Which one do you want to see the badges on? Light mode or dark mode? Dark mode, obviously. Yes. I am also a dark mode user. I don't know what the exact thing is supposed to be. And these are also higher-ish resolution. I don't know. I don't know. We can talk about it, which I think would be appropriate, but this is what I had on debut when I was like, oh yeah, I think people will like kind of like this or whatever. Yeah. It's like, this is what I was thinking. I don't know if people wanted something different, but it was just going to be like bronze, silver, and gold. I think I also had breakdowns of each of these where it was kind of like you would have, depending on how granular we want it to be, it could be just the hourglass, then the hourglass with the wings around it, then the hourglass with the wings around it and the border, and then it would start that on the next one. So it could be like every month it upgrades, or it could just be like on greater thresholds where they kind of become whatever. I think also adding like some shine to these would be a good idea, or like I can go back and rework them, because like for example something like this, since it's flat colored, we can make it a little more shiny. I don't know how we would do the shine, but like literally just like add a little bit of shading or something. So that it looks, from way zoomed out, it kind of looks shiny, right? So I will probably add that. I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. Going from a full piece of one color to just an hourglass feels a little bit like a downgrade. Yeah, I can actually see that. So I wonder about that. Maybe just, you know, the badge itself like this is fine enough. We can fix all of these at the same time. I know I said I was going to go, but now I feel invested. What we can actually do is we take this, we copy it and paste it. We put it over here. And then we... I guess it doesn't necessarily one-to-one translate, but... I was thinking something like this. And then this one's a little different because it... Like, was there any interpretation of how this could be, like, further than the gold medal? Because, like, we could become very granular. And, like, have something... Or have something past this. But that's kind of, like, all I came up with. Gonna be honest. Was there something past... literally having the family crest? I don't know. Gotta say, though, having those prepared at debut was ambitious. Look, boy. I was hoping that I was going to be a hit success, that people would love me very much, and I prepared myself for success. However, I was not immediately successful, so that's fine. It is okay. It did not discourage me to keep going. Or to stop or whatever. I think that's normal. Hard being flat. Bruh. I mean, like, adding a blue flag background at the final level. Oh, wait, that's actually really cool. So we could have, like, this. But it would have a... I don't think being flat is that difficult. If we can take any page out of the hit VTuber Gargura, I don't think that is necessarily a inhibitor to your popularity. These will not be the actual colors because I don't think I have them. They're over here. All you're saying is that this is an innovation that Soul Calibur understood. Oh yeah, so I guess you could have like this, right? The flag, and then there could also be this is a rough draft, don't worry about it. Yeah, something like that. And then there could be another one that has this. It's like the same thing. Oops, that's not what I wanted. But it has the gold on the side. Oops. Yeah, something like that. Maybe. I'm not sure. I like the flag idea. I need to make it like look better, but would it look worse if, because like the badges have like a particular size, and then these I believe are following the size requirements? Would it look bad if it was like kind of smaller, so that it matched the rest of the sizes for the other things? Which is like, I don't know if people would feel bad that it becomes this, you know what I mean? That it became smaller. Anyways, I don't know if we want to have like a stream dedicated to talking about this stuff, but yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to say is, for everyone who stuck around, thanks so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you again for your support as always. Big stuff coming up soon. Really excited about it. Super exciting stuff. Like, it was a goal for me on the outset, I think, to, you know, like, I made like 12 emotes or something. I don't know. I made some amount of emotes and had badges ready on debut. So it was definitely within my goals to have these things. Not even like huge fame, success, not huge amounts, not whopping piles of money, you know what I mean? Just that like people could use emotes that I made, people could have badges that I made. They're what I wanted to have. So it's exciting that it is happening probably soon. Hopefully. Unless YouTube goes, your channel shit, get out of here, kid. Which is fully within their right to say in the case that ends up happening. But hopefully big things coming soon. So thanks so much everybody, and I'll see you all later. So bye-bye. Bye.